What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. In today's video, we're going to be doing a full face of new makeup. A lot of this is new. Some of it's new to me, new to my channel, and probably new to you. I've got some good stuff to talk about today. We have a lot to cover, so if you want to hang out with me today, get ready together, have some fun, then keep watching. Alrighty, before we get started, let me quickly show you some of the goodies that we're going to be playing around with in today's video. I have the new Lisa Eldridge Baume Embrace Lippies. Definitely have some thoughts on these. I also have right here the new Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Essentials palette. I have been wanting to try this, and this is the one for light to medium skin tone. So you have kind of like the cream complexion products on this side and the cream blush and highlighters on that side. And I've been testing this out, so I definitely have some thoughts. I have another one of the Kosas Blushes Light Blushes that I recently picked up from Sephora. I have 5 of the Dior single shadows to swatch and just kind of give you guys my thoughts on, so we're gonna be using one of those. I also have a bunch of the new Dior eyeliners to play around with today. And finally, friends, I have what might be one of the best Chanel foundation products that I've ever used. That is new to me, and I bet new to a lot of you as well, so let's get into it. Okay, so the first new thing that I recently picked up is a deeper shade of the Dior Forever Glow Star filter. If you watch my channel, you know I really like this product. I like to use it as a glowy primer. I like to mix it into my foundations to add a little bit of radiance. I like to wear it on its own for like a no makeup type of look. It's a really good product, very hydrating, very glowy. I decided to pick up a shade that was a little bit darker for summer. If you guys recall in my liquid bronzer video that I recently posted, I was saying that I think that this is a better product than, let's say, the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy Drop or the Cali Ray Sun Drop. Those products only have one shade, whereas this product comes in 10 shades, and I really like the formulation. So I basically took my own advice and I picked this up in a deeper shade. I typically wear shade 1. I think 0 is the lightest shade, and I decided to get it in shade 3 because I thought that would be the most flattering for my skin tone. Right here you can see this is shade 1, and then this is the shade that I recently picked up, shade 3. Shade 4, I don't know, I was kind of on the fence whether or not I should get shade 4, but it looked a little bit more golden even though they're all described as neutral, so I decided to go with this one. And as you can see, it just adds like a really nice light summertime glow without looking like super unnatural. And you know, if you get a little bit tanner in the summer and maybe you have a foundation that you bought in the winter, you can go in with something like this again if it's a little bit darker, and you can kind of deepen up the shade and just get it to adapt to your maybe new tanner summer skin. So I really like this. It's a subtle difference, but I think it looks really lovely. Sometimes if I go in with like the De-Bronzy drops, it gives my complexion kind of like a muddy look. I don't really care for them. I like the texture of it, but I don't really like the shade. Better to choose what is exactly perfect for you from a range just like this. So that's what that looks like. Comment down below, let me know what you think. I know it's like really subtle, but if you look at my arm, I feel like it matches it pretty well. So I just wanted to show you guys the difference in that in case you were looking to pick up a shade that was a little bit bronzier for summer. This next product is from Chanel. It is a Chanel foundation, but it's probably a Chanel foundation that you haven't tried before or you have never heard of. In fact, I purchased this foundation, I want to say in February. I basically went out and purchased all the Chanel foundations that I hadn't tried before, and I saw this one on the website and was like, what is this? I have never heard of this before, and I finally got around to using it this week. And let me tell you, this might be my new favorite thing. Let me show this to you. This is the Boy de Chanel Le Teint Foundation. This is marketed as a men's foundation or as like a men's skin tint. I'll show you guys what it looks like on the website. It doesn't outright say this is a men's foundation, but all of the models in the photos are male models. And then it says in the description, you know, like this percentage of men really liked this product, etc., etc. So I don't know, guys, it's supposed to be for men, but I don't really care. We can use it too. Or if you are a guy, let me introduce this to you. This is a really nice foundation. I'm so excited to show this to you guys. Let me show you what the texture of this looks like. It's very interesting. As soon as I squeezed it out, I was like, oh, because It looks like the Water Fresh tint where you have kind of like a serum mixed together with some pigment, except there's just a lot more pigment involved. And you might be thinking, well, Sophia, there's the Water Fresh Complexion Touch. There is that, but this feels different. This feels, in my opinion, way, way better than the Complexion Touch. It just feels, hold on, let me just mix this up so you guys can see. It feels way silkier. It doesn't have as dewy of a finish when it goes on the skin. It has more of like a natural finish. Look at how beautifully that glides across the skin. And it did such a nice job of covering up the awful hyperpigmentation that I've been building up recently. So we're gonna cover all that up. Take a look at that. I've been using my fingers with this, and this is the shade B20, by the way, which is the lightest shade. I wasn't sure if this was gonna work for me. I thought it would be a little bit dark. I'm usually a B10, but in fact, it actually works okay. Like when you put a lot of it on your hand, it's gonna look pretty pigmented. But then when I actually buff it onto the skin, I think I'm good. It's so good, guys. Okay, I've only been testing it for about 2 days at this point, but I will say my first impressions are that this might be one of like my new top 5 foundations. It's honestly that good. Have any of you tried this? Because I haven't heard anybody talk about this. Please comment down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. I asked you all on Instagram, have you tried this? And a lot of you were like, no, I don't even know what that is. Or like, yeah, I've seen that. I've been intrigued, but I didn't get it because it clearly said it was like marketed towards men. And you know, sometimes we just write off a product if it's not really marketed towards us, but it just has the most beautiful, lightweight second skin texture. And like I said, it doesn't give as dewy and like fresh of a complexion as the Water Fresh product. It gives more of a kind of velvety finish, but I sort of like that because, you know, sometimes we don't want to look super dewy and fresh face. We just want to have kind of like that natural, slightly matte type of velvet finish. And it doesn't feel silicone-y or anything. It honestly, it feels so good. Like, what the heck, Chanel? Like, why is this for men? Because it's so good. I think the only thing that I don't really like about it is that the shade range is trash. I think there's only maybe like 8 shades. I don't know. So I do think it's worth a try, but I was a little bit disappointed when I went back and looked on the product page and there were only 8 shades. I don't understand what that's all about, but take a look at that. It's so lightweight. It feels soft and velvety. I'm trying not to like hype this up too much, but honestly, as soon as I put it on my face, I was like, this is good. All right. So I film in natural light, by the way, if you are new here. I'll just get in close so you can kind of see what that looks like. And it wears pretty well as well. I like the Complexion Touch, but it's not my favorite because I do find that that product, it tends to look a little bit makeup-y on my face as I go throughout the day, and I don't get that from this product. Also, yes, it does have a very strong fragrance like all of the other Chanel products, and I think that's all I have to say. I really think that this is worth checking out. This might be one of my new favorite summertime foundations. I'm gonna keep testing it, but I felt like it was worth a mention in this video. Okay, so we're done with that. We're moving along, I promise. But like I said, comment down below and let me know if you've used that foundation before. I would love to hear your thoughts. Now we are moving along to the Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Essentials palette. This has been intriguing me for quite a few weeks now. I think it was launched maybe like a month or 2 ago. I've heard really great things. I see something like this and I just think that looks like so much fun. I feel like a little makeup artist, and you know what? I'm going on vacation in a couple of weeks and I wanted to see if maybe this would be a good kind of multi-purpose, all-in-one type of travel palette. It does come in 2 separate shades. There's a light to medium, which I have here, and also a medium to deep, which obviously has like deeper and more vibrant shades. Seems to be pretty popular because they both keep going like in and out of stock on Sephora. So these shades right here, you can use as a base, as concealer, bronzer, contour, which we're gonna be using today. And then we also have some cream blushes and cream highlighters. I'm gonna start off by using, I usually like to mix either these 2 shades or these 2 shades for concealer, and I really like like to use the BK Beauty 109 brush with this palette because it just fits perfectly into all of the pans and it's synthetic, so it's really great for cream products. I would say that the lightest shade here, it's a little bit too light for me, which is why I like to mix them up. But the formula here is very creamy, so it's kind of easy to just like, you know, dibble dabble between all of the shades and apply them to the skin. I think the biggest question mark for me when I first picked this up was, is it gonna be super greasy? Because if that's the case, I don't really want a product like that if I'm gonna be traveling, because I usually go somewhere that's pretty warmer. In this case, I'm gonna be going to Italy in a couple of weeks and it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. Okay, I'm gonna be in Rome sweating it up and I want something that's gonna be very long lasting. And I'm happy to report, you can see the beautiful difference there. I'm happy to report that this is not greasy at all. I actually really like the formula. It feels very makeup artisty. It feels like something that a makeup artist would use to apply on someone else. Very easy to use, long wearing, easy to mix, you know, very professional type of product. I do think that the hype is real about this product. So you can see right there what it looks like on the under eyes. I will sometimes take the lightest shade, just a teeny little bit, and kind of place it there to brighten up under the eye, like in the tear duct region. And then what's nice is that I can use some of these more medium tone shades if I want to then go, you know, like up here where I have a little bit more like acne pigmentation, cover all of that up. I can basically do my whole face with just this palette and this brush. It does last long. I have tested this out here in the Dallas heat and I feel like it does last nice and long. So here's my complexion after using those shades as concealers. Really good, right? Very pigmented, but you can also sheer them out. Now I'm going to use these two shades as basically a bronzer and a contour because this one is the perfect contour shade. It is cooler in tone. I'm going to switch over to the BK Beauty 101 just to kind of show you guys another option. I know a lot of you guys have this brush. I sometimes will dip into the deepest shade and then a little bit into this one just to make sure that it's not too dark. And once again, like, it's such a nice basic cream bronzer. It's just as good as like any other one that I have in my collection. This palette, I will say it is pretty expensive. I believe it's $80. So it's kind of like buying an Hourglass palette, but I do think it's worth it. I think if you're somebody that you do want an all-in-one and you do use concealer, cream bronzer, cream contour, cream blush, cream highlight, like if you're already using all of that stuff on the daily, or maybe you like to use that when you travel or during the summer, I will say I do think that this is worth the $80. Now I'm gonna go back into the BK Beauty 109 and I'm gonna use the Cool Tone shade as a contour. You could also mix these if you wanted to do more of like a bronzer situation here. Just pop that like right under the cheekbone and you get a nice little chisel. I know a lot of you have these BK Beauty brushes, but if you don't, I will link them down below with the name of each brush just in case you want to check them out. And I also have a coupon code so you can save 10% off. We are gonna go in with that new Kosas blush, but I do want to demo at least one of the blushes in this palette. I'm gonna choose a complimentary one. So I think I'm gonna go in with the peachy toned one, Peachy Coral Blush. These blushes, I really like the shades that they chose. Maybe they could have picked one that was a little bit more nude, but I guess you could always blend it with one of these colors. But as you can see, I really like that one. Look how gorgeous. I really like this one for the summertime. Now I will go back into the Makeup Forever palette in just a second to do the cream highlighter, but I want to first show you guys, I got another Kosas blush. I was in Sephora, I saw this shade, and I don't know, I picked it up. It looked so beautiful. This is the shade Blissed, and this is another great everyday color that I thought you guys would like. It's a really lovely, soft, iridescent, pinky peach, just really great everyday shade. I wanted to show you a quick comparison with Bohemian Girl from RMS. It's really similar to that, except it's just softer and not as shimmery and bright. So if you kind of were intrigued by this, or if you like this shade and it was just a little bit too intense, then this shade Blissed from Kosas is going to be a good option. And like I said in my review of these blushes, they are a pretty like decent price point for what you're getting, which is a really nice glowy blush. So let's dip into this, and I'm just gonna layer this on top of the Makeup Forever blush. So nice. This is a great way to set your cream blush, or maybe just use it as a bit of like a blush topper. And there you have it. That is the shade Blissed. So good, right? I love these blushes. I know I have a lot from Hourglass. I know I have the RMS ones, but I do really like these. I think they did a really beautiful job with them, and the packaging is just so darn cute. So comment down below. Let me know if you've picked any of these up since I posted that review. Which shades did you get? Because I'm actually really happy with the ones that I got, and I've been using them pretty much nonstop. Okay, now for the finishing touches on the complexion, we're going to be going into one of the cream highlighters. I'm going to go into the pinkier one here, the pinky peachy one, since that's kind of like the theme that we got going on for today's look. And once again, the 109 brush is perfect for this. I'm just going to add a little bit on the top of the cheekbone, so it gives that really nice little flash of radiance. I'm liking how beautiful and fresh this is looking. I haven't tried this entire combo together, even though I've tested all these products out, and I must say, I'm really enjoying how this is coming out. Okay, so complexion is done, and I quickly did my brows off camera because I want to get to the Dior single eyeshadows. I purchased 5 of these, and I have at least one in every finish formula, so I'm going to swatch them for you right now, and then we'll put some of them on my eyes, and I will share my thoughts. I'm also going to compare them with the Chanel single eyeshadows because I definitely have some thoughts there. The first one that I picked up here is called Rosewood. This is a matte, and this is just kind of like your basic kind of rosy brown color. I will say it is a nice neutral option, but I find this matte formula to be a little dry. I think if you're gonna pick up any of these, I wouldn't pick up the matte ones. The next one that I have here is called Tulle, and this is a satin. This is the one that I've been wearing nonstop because it is a boring neutral color, and for a lot of the videos that I've been doing lately where I'm like not doing my makeup on camera, this has just been the perfect kind of light gold champagne shade, and I must say I do really like it. Next, I have 2 metallic shades, and I tried to pick the 2 that you guys were the most interested in. The first one that I have here is Beige Mitza. I got a lot of questions about this one, and I will say this one is gorgeous. It does seem like this formula compared to the satin, and even more so the matte, is a little bit creamier. Here you guys can see, obviously it's a little bit more shiny as well because this is the metallic, this is the satin, and this is the matte. But take a look at that. That is a really, really beautiful shade. It goes across the eye really smoothly. This one, definitely a good one. And then I also picked up Tutu, and this one is going to be a soft pink. This one, while it's not bad, it does not feel as creamy and luxurious as the Beige Mitza. And look, it's like not super pigmented as well. If you like something very, very subtle, then it's good, but I don't like this one as much as I like the Tulle and the Beige Mitza. And the last one that I got is Coral Look, and this is in the glitter finish. See, that one is a little bit sparklier, and these are very much going to be like topper shades. That's how I would treat them. This one I thought would be kind of multi-dimensional. It's okay. You know, I wouldn't say that these are like super chunky, but they're not like the greatest toppers that I've ever seen in the world. So my recommendation to you friends would be, if you are interested in these, definitely go for like the satin or the metallic formula, because that's the formula that I've been the most impressed with. I will also mention, I think in general, I like the Chanel ones more. I think they feel a little bit silkier, a little bit more blendable. I enjoy the pigmentation better. That's not to say that these are bad. I think I would probably go by which color you feel like suits you better, but I think that I just enjoyed the Chanel ones a little bit more. I also received a lot of questions on whether or not it would be better to get the Chanel Brun Talpa or the Dior Beige Mizza, because they do look really, really similar in the pan, and I know that this kind of like cool tone greige is a very popular color, at least with us, with my subscribers. They do look, at least I think, pretty different when they're actually like on the eye or swatch. So this is Chanel Brun Talpa, and this is Dior Beige Mizza. Now, in general, I told you I like the Chanel eyeshadows more, but I actually do like the Dior Beige Mizza better, just because it's a little bit more metallic and it's also a little bit more neutral, a little bit more browny, whereas the one from Chanel is a little bit more cool toned and gray. So I would just go by whatever like color undertone you lean towards more. But personally, I like the one from Dior because I just like this little extra bit of metallic shine, and it's just not as cool toned. So I hope that all of that was helpful. I know I'm cramming a lot into this video. I am gonna actually put one of the eyeshadows on my eyes right now. I'm gonna go in with the one that I've been using the most, which is Tulle, the satin shade. So you guys can see this is a really pretty everyday shade. See? Goes on so quickly, so easy to do. And I'm using the Sonia G Jumbo Blender, my favorite one and done eyeshadow brush. Get that across the eye, and it just does a really beautiful job of brightening up the eyelids, smoothing everything out. And I'll put a little bit here on the lower lash line as well. I think I'm actually gonna go in with the Rosewood shade just a little bit here in the crease. Like I said, it's a very nice light neutral matte to add a little bit of depth, but overall, I don't think that I would spend the money to get like a single matte shadow. I'd rather get something that's like a little bit more unique. And then lastly, I thought we would use Coral Look as a little topper shade just to add some sparkle. It's not like the most pigmented sparkly shade ever, and yes, it probably would pop a little bit more. That's what it looks like on my finger. It would definitely pop a little bit more if I had like a matte shadow, but I do feel like it adds a little something extra. All right, now I want to show you the new eyeliners from Dior. These are called the Dior Stylo Waterproof Creamy Eyeliner Pen, and I picked up, once again, 5 shades. I wanted to get kind of like a nice array of colors, and I tried to pick the colors that I thought were going to be the most popular, or the ones that you guys were the most interested in. So let me swatch these for you guys, and I definitely have some thoughts. First off, these are a swivel tip, unlike the other ones that have like that you have to sharpen. I really like those. Those came out, I want to say last year, and then on the other end, they have the little smudgy tip, and if you pull the little smudgy tip off, you have this little sharpener if you want to make that swivel tip a little bit more precise. So I definitely appreciate that. I'm thinking that maybe these were designed to compete with the ones from Chanel. Not really sure, because they do seem similar. The first one that I have right here, by the way, this one is Matte Blue. This is a really pretty shade. It's like a beautiful deep navy, and I'll show you guys a little clip here. I actually paired this color with the look that I did for the Natasha Denona Gold palette. Navy blue and gold look so beautiful together. So this is a recommendation that I have for you if you picked up that palette, or maybe the, what's it called? Over Doré from YSL. This is a very, very good complement. The other matte shade that I got is the Matte Mint. This is such a hot color for the summer. The only thing that I will mention, friends, and I don't know if you can see this on camera, I don't think you can because it's kind of subtle. It's not matte. Like, it has shimmer in it. It kind of looks like it's matte there, but when you get really close and you see it in the sunlight, there is some shimmer in there. It's not super chunky, but I do want to mention it. I was like, that's not matte. Next, I have more of a neutral. This one is called Pearly Bronze. You guys know I love a good bronze shade. I thought this one would be good for every day. See, that one has like a little bit of a shimmer to it. Then I also got the Pearly Pink. This is a light kind of ballerina pink. And then finally, I picked up what I think is the most popular shade, and this is the Pearly Lilac. This seemed to be the one that was selling out the quickest. Now, before I put these on my eyes, I do have a couple of quick thoughts that I wanted to share with you. The first one is that these pearly shades, they do have some noticeable glitter to them. They are more shimmery, more glittery than, for example, the ones from Chanel. Those are more of like a soft shimmer. These are a more apparent shimmer, okay? The other thing that I want to mention is that these are described as it says here on the pen, waterproof creamy eyeliner pen. Waterproof and creamy, and I will agree, they are both of those things. They do feel a lot softer, creamier, and more blendable than, let's say, the ones from Chanel. Not as much as the Victoria Beckham ones, of course, but they do feel a little bit more creamy. So if you're someone that you feel like the eyeliner kind of drags across your eye, you might want to check these out because they have that nice creamy touch. The other thing that I want to mention is that they are indeed waterproof. I've been like testing these out, swatching them on my arms, on my hands, and like once they set down, you cannot get them off. And like I've washed my hands many times throughout the day and they do not come off. They do not come off. I really think it just depends on like which colors are gonna suit you the best. I really like the navy one. I thought it was super easy to work with. I love the little smudgy at the end. I thought it was incredibly long lasting, really beautiful. In fact, I probably would use these ones over the ones that you have to sharpen just because it's a little bit like easier, quicker, and carefree. I think, however, that some of these like pastel colors, I don't think they're gonna pop or be as flattering as some of you maybe think they're gonna be because they are kind of like chunky and glittery. I'm gonna be going in right now with the lilac one because I do think that this is probably the one that people care about the most. And I'll sort of show you what I mean. So we're gonna pop this on. It's very creamy. Can you see that? Because I can't, like, I don't really feel like some of these colors pop very well. Comment down below and let me know if you've had luck with these. Let me wing it out a little bit. I feel like some of these lighter colors, like the pearly pink and the pearly lilac, they just don't pop all that well. So that's what the lilac looks like. It's very subtle, but you know, if you already got the lilac shade for maybe the single Chanel shadows, you could probably just use that as a liner. You don't have to get a separate lilac liner. I don't really see a lot of the glitter on the eyelid, but it's just something that I want to mention. You know what? Should we use another one on the other eye? I don't usually do that, but I might do that. I'm going to use the mint on the other eye. Maybe I'll even them out. I really want to demonstrate another popular shade. This one is even more pastel, and because it is the matte formula, and I'm saying matte because there's some soft shimmer in it, it pops a lot more. So the ones that are characterized as matte, I do think the formula is a little bit better. I do think it pops a little bit more. If you're thinking of getting these pearlier ones, you just need to know they are gonna be rather subtle. Let's take the pearly bronze and put this one on the bottom. This is the kind of thing where I don't really care if it's subtle because I'm just looking for a little, you know, subtle shimmery halo around the eye. I feel like this is the longest video ever. I'm sorry guys. I am having fun though. Hope you're having fun. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it so far. I just felt like there were so many good things to chat about. Let's see if I can even this out. Okay, so I evened them out. We have the matte mint on the top and the pearly bronze on the bottom. In summary, friends, I do really like these eyeliners. I kind of like that they are a more creamy, blendable alternative to maybe some of the other ones that are on the market, like the Chanel. So they are a little bit different. They are very long wearing. They're like waterproof, like you can't get them off unless you actually use makeup remover. Once you hit it with that, they do dissolve. But I like that they're a little bit creamy like the Victoria Beckham, but long wearing like the Chanel. You just have to keep in mind the matte formulation is going to be the more pigmented one. Personally, I prefer that. I like the navy and the matte mint that I picked up, probably the best out of all 5. And then out of the pearly shades, I really like the pearly bronze. I think it's a very versatile color, and I just know myself, that's a color that I reach for a lot. The lilac and the pink, I personally don't feel like they're worth it. If you have a deeper skin tone, they might pop on you a little bit more because they're more shimmery, but those are the ones that I probably would skip if I had to like get rid of any of the ones that I picked up. The last thing that I want to show you as well is just a comparison of the mint shade with the Victoria Beckham Seafoam liner. So this is the mint from Dior, the one that's on my eyes now. It has a little bit of shimmer to it, which I know is hard to see on camera. And then this is the Seafoam shade. And the ones from Victoria Beckham, they are just like a little bit creamier and more blendable if you like the smudgy effect. Whereas you can see here, this one from Dior, it really is not budging. Oh, also, I did put 2 coats of the Surratt Releve mascara on my lashes. That's why they look so beautiful and fluttery. If you missed it, in my May favorites, I talked about this. It is an amazing mascara, great for like long, lengthened, fluttery lashes. So I'll link this down below as well, along with my coupon code. Are you still with me? Are you still with me? Because we have finally made it to the Lisa Eldridge Baume Embrace Lippies. These are essentially a glossy tinted lip balm, lip treatment. They're supposed to be incredibly nourishing for the lips, and I picked these up in 2 shades. The first shade that I got is Sweet Fig. Had to get this one. I love figs. And this one is kind of like a pinky brown. I will swatch it for you here on my hand. Look how gorgeous and juicy that looks. And then the other shade that I picked up is Red Curve. And I got this one because I thought it would be the most pigmented out of the ones that she launched. So you can see right there on my hand, these are very, very glossy. Now, I haven't watched any reviews on these, but I have been reading some of your comments on my own videos, and it does seem like they're a little bit polarizing. So I thought I would add my 2 cents for what it's worth, starting off with the packaging. I think the packaging is beautiful. However, they don't feel as kind of luxe and weighty as the regular lipsticks from Lisa Eldridge. They do feel a little bit more lightweight and just kind of plasticky. They're not bad. It's a lovely component. I was just a little bit surprised when I unboxed them. I don't know, I just kind of thought they would feel more like the lipstick components, so I think it's worth mentioning. The other thing that I want to mention is that these do have a vanilla scent. I quite like the scent. I like the scent of a MAC lipstick, for example, and that's what these smell like. But a bunch of my subscribers were saying that they hate the taste. So I think a lot of people, maybe they don't really like the scent, or they kind of can taste the scent once it's applied. It didn't even occur to me when I used them. I guess I just don't really notice it, but it's something that I want to call out because a bunch of my subscribers said that they don't like the taste. The other thing that you need to know about these is that they are very sheer. They're not super pigmented. I'm going to apply Sweet Fig to my lips right now. It doesn't really show up all that much. It is kind of like a My Lips But Better type of situation though. It's a very beautiful shade, but it's not that pigmented. What I do really like about these is the moisturization. I will say, I think that these are incredibly, incredibly hydrating, just like she said. And even hours later, my lips feel really, really nourished. I love the moisturizing capabilities of these. I would think of these as exactly what she says, a tinted lip treatment, something you can put in your bag if you just need something like really easy, very carefree. I don't think that they look as pigmented on my lips as they do on Lisa Eldridge. I think it's just the tone of my lips. And I also don't think that they look as shiny as they did on Lisa Eldridge's lips. I don't know, maybe I just need to like press a little bit harder, but it looks lovely and moisturizing, but it doesn't have that like glassy shine as it did in her video. But I don't know, they could look different on different people. Please comment down below and let me know what you think. So do I think that these are worth it? I think that they're really nice, especially if you have chronically dry lips and you want something that feels more like a lip mask, but I don't think that they're a must-have. Let me put on Red Curve real quick for you guys. So that was Sweet Fig. I'll probably put this one back on because it goes better with this look, but let me show you Red Curve. I think Red Curve is probably the one that is the most worth it because it's the most pigmented. So take a look at that. Beautiful. If you just want like a tint of red, I think they're really nice. I think it's a great product. I think it is something that she needed in her line. But unfortunately, there's so many other brands that have come out with this product. This is like the #1 product every brand has been launching, is like glossy tinted lip balms or lip oils. I feel like the whole release just, it's not as special because we have a lot of these in our collection already, but do I like them? I do like them. However, I just took that off because I want to show you something else. I have another point to add. When I purchased the Baume Embrace on the Lisa Eldridge website, I was like, you know what? I've never tried the glosses. Let me try the glosses because it's kind of part of the same family of products. And I was really curious to see how those compared to the glosses. This is the one that I picked up. This is Dragon. This looks really pigmented in the tube, but when you put it on, it is, oh my God, it's so good. I mean, I know, see, this happens with a lot of products, especially from Lisa Eldridge, if it's something that I'm like, oh, I don't really need that. And then I finally try it after you guys have told me that it's good. And then it's like, yeah, okay, well, you guys were right. These glosses are absolutely amazing. Instead of getting the Baume brace, I would get the glosses. This gives the shine that I was hoping from the Baume brace, but it still has that beautiful, nourishing component to it. Like, my lips feel so soft and moisturized after using this. These have the most beautiful texture. Like, these are really good lip glosses. I know a lot of you already know this, so it's like, okay, blah, blah, blah. If you already have these, just stick to these. Stick to these, or if you're choosing between them, I would get these because I don't really feel like the Baumes are all that different. Does that make sense? Personally, if I'm gonna be using something during the summer and I'm going out here and it's like 90 degrees outside, it might be better to carry around a lip gloss. So in summary, I like them. I don't think they're a must-have. They're not my favorite, but I did discover a better alternative, and I'm definitely gonna be buying more of these next time I place an order on the Lisa Eldridge website. All right, we got Sweet Fig back on the lips. This is the final look, friends. Comment down below and let me know what you thought of all of these products. I just cannot get over this complexion. The combination of the Dior Glow Star filter, the Bois de Chanel foundation tint, whatever it's called, the Makeup Forever HD Face Essentials, all of that together I think looks really beautiful. That is my favorite part of this video. But let me know, what was your favorite product that I talked about today? Let me know your feedback if you've tried any of these products. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really helps me out. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that, friends, I hope that you see some beauty in your day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.